Cindy Lee, and we'll turn it over to John in a second. But I just, you know, it's really amazing every year, and whenever I get an update or a visit, it just blows me away how much growth there is. And then to listen to you guys with all of your expertise and all of your, you know, 15 years of history now, almost, you know, and experience, and yet the humility and the openness with which you kind of engage, and the genuine interest you have in hearing more ideas and more strategies. And I think that's what feeds you and why you stay so fresh and innovative and learning. And we've talked a lot this week, starting with Reverend John on Monday, about, you know, the ability to pay attention, to be curious, to have humility as the core of doing real systems work. And you guys not only do it in your programming, but you just exemplify it even in how you engage with us in such an open way. So it's really been wonderful. And I was very excited to hear the little bits of ideas that I could hear just in this short feedback. So thank you so much. And let's hear from our keynote listener, Reverend John, and see what's been coming to him as he's listened to your stories and then dived into his breakout. John.
Yeah, thanks, Warren. Team, what's standing out for me listening to our experience in Arrow Labs today are two frames. Why Arrow Labs works and seem to be so sustainable and powerful is because, first and foremost, there's a frame in which it creates an environment of hope, an environment of a sense of worth and belonging. And this environment is created both in the precinct, but also in the psychological space of people. So I recognize that no matter the age, you come into contact with our labs and your humanness is valued and you are given hope that you can do something. And this something you can do is then the second part of the frame. So the first frame that holds the system is an environment where there's no judgment, your different perspectives are valued, your humanness is important, and that you have possibilities irrespective of where you are. This created creative environment holds people together and gives them a direction. And that then they can tap into the second part or the second frame, which is giving alternative pathways to meeting people's needs. It doesn't have to be the formal education or the formal skill training, but an alternative pathway where people's needs are met in terms of ability to get skills and to be networked to people doing something similar, for a deepening of the skills that they have acquired in an ecosystem, including the community. And that's the part which is missing in most other situations. I think our lab's strength lies in connecting the people who come in contact with skill acquisition, irrespective of the skill, to be connected to the community. So there's an ecosystem where this new learning is relevant for their living reality, the community in which they come from. So they become different elements within the same community and then gain influence in enabling others to follow them or join them in their own way or different paths. So this community-focused learning and sharing and publishing or making transparent the learned skills of this individual who has become different. So then I like the idea that the skills are then networked along value chains, product value chains, service value chains. So you don't feel your skills are not needed, but they are market related. And I found that, so it's not education for the sake of it, but education to meet a need and to create network of people who support one another to change their lives. Then there's a third part, that this ecosystem that is created, there's an attempt to scale up by partnering through partnerships with corporate, partnership with industry, and that makes the new person or the new group become so relevant in the market space. And the final thing I saw which our lab does so well in terms of supporting social change or system change, is the embedded learning. There is an embedded learning which happens in the moment and periodically that our labs is then able to distill what are the changes, how did they happen, what did the individual get, and what is the network benefiting, and always doing this embedded system learning from the individual to the group to the community to the corporate, so that there's a systematic learning of what is the innovation, what does the market need, and this way of making it alive. I like the language living lab, because that's what you are actually doing. And whether you are conscious about this process or not, that's what I'm mapping, listening to you and a second time being the Arab, this time virtual. But the first time I was there, I didn't get as much as I'm getting now. Maybe because I was too embedded in the system. Now, as I'm removed, I see your process as very enriching. And I'm not surprised that you have survived 15 years and you are expanding. You could actually take over Africa and maybe East Asia, because your system is so human-based. It takes the individual and give them hope. What can you do? Small changes. How can you go back to your community and share what you have become fresh, and getting the community to own and support, networking along a value chain or a service, supply chain, and upscaling it to corporate industry, international, so that that individual who was a gangster suddenly sees their value in adding something to Google or adding something to, Walmart. And it's such an elevating, enriching feeling psychologically, but also in terms of skill and belongingness in the community, so that this deviant is now a hero, and it's such an amazing story you shared. Thank you so much. I can continue, but Warren knows that my power is in my being brief.